Hey guys, Chicken Maine, aka Deboo, Deboo.com with the Deboo.com surf forecast. This forecast update effective around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, July 13th, 2014, and starts you off with thought for the extended period. We're going to be watching the tail end of the next front coming, just like we did over the last couple of days, guys, for homegrown development. Although models are not showing any development at the moment, we always watch the tail ends of fronts or along stalled fronts this time of year in tropical season for an area of low pressure to develop. So those of you who follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you know we've been posting several images of low pressure right along the coast. Any one of those could have developed if environmental conditions became more favorable. So that's why we watch, and because of the proximity to the coast. But we're going to be watching that next front coming next week, towards the end of next week, to see what happens. There's some cold air that's going to be filtering in out of Canada across the Great Lakes. There was a little thing going around about another polar vortex in the middle of summer in July, but there's going to be some cool air temperatures behind this as this moves. I'm going to take you now to the area of little spin and the next chance for swell along the East Coast, however minimal, but it's that little area of spin that we've been tracking over the last 3 to 4 days that spin down away from the west of the Azores, and you can kind of see it right in here this morning, just northeast of the islands. It's right over here in the right-hand portion of your screen. You can see kind of in the last image it taking on a little bit of a comma shape. We're going to be watching this over the next day or so as it starts to move north of Puerto Rico. Environmental conditions are unfavorable at the moment and could become a little bit more favorable just above Puerto Rico or to the west of Puerto Rico. The European model has just kind of been bouncing around on the same thing every day. We've got, as far as development, we've got an upper level low that's spinning north of Puerto Rico now that's enhancing some moisture into the region. And the thought is that when this little spin here catches up, it may be able to take on a little bit of moisture itself and take on some tropical characteristics. Give you a little bit closer look at where this is right now, and let me adjust this just down just a little bit. You can see it right in here. This is a close-up version of it. Puerto Rico is going to be over here towards the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And as this spins over, again, hopefully the moisture content will increase and it can start to pick up a little bit of convective activity. When we look at the water vapor imagery, you can see that the region is still very dry, but the moisture from the upper level low in here, you can see how it's trying to dip down in here towards southwest towards Puerto Rico. So as that little spin catches up, hopefully it'll be able to start wrapping some moisture into it itself as it pushes past. Looking at the latest wind shear analysis, though, wind shear showing still very high in this environment, 30, 40, 50 knots. And again, it's just past Puerto Rico that the little spin may have a chance to spin up and give us the next chance of surf along the East Coast. Right now, it looks like strong southerly suck up from high pressure going to work its way up into the islands of New York in there. And those look like the only people that are going to get anything above chest to shoulder high, possibly head high over the next couple of days. We need this to spin up to give us a chance at a bump for northeast Florida, central Florida, and up in here towards the Outer Banks. We'll just have to see how it turns out. The environmental forecast has trended a little bit negative over the last back-to-back runs, and that's indicative by the blue shading in here. And as you can see, as the week progresses, it's right in here in that 72-hour to 96-hour time frame that would give the opportunity for something to spin up where we're talking about or what we're tracking. Looking ahead out towards Africa, guys, and looking towards the Cape Verde season, although it's still early, there's just nothing over Africa. So the only real hope that we have, again, is for some type of homegrown development coming in from the next front or that area of spin that we're watching to the northeast of Puerto Rico or northeast of the islands and then going to work past Puerto Rico. That's all we got for you now, guys. Stay tuned for the next update.